Hello, and welcome to the MathLinks Core 2nd Edition, Grades 6 to 8, Getting Started video series. In this session, we'll consider ways to differentiate instruction using MathLinks. One of a teacher's many tasks is to address the needs of a wide range of learners with different learning styles. In this session, we target 3 groups of learners: those who might need language support, those who sometimes struggle with concepts and skills, and those who crave enrichment and challenges, including learners with hidden talents and skills. We synthesized current research, including the 3 principles for universal design for learning, into the MathLinks program to optimize teaching and learning for all students. If interested, you can read about this in your program information document. One of our core principles is that the teacher is central to instruction. As we move forward, we'll refer to the student packet as SP, the teacher edition as TE, and the teacher portal as TP. Teachers will find these 3 components very useful when making instructional decisions. You probably already know that MathLinks was built around big ideas, making it possible to complete the core lessons in the student packets in about 100 class hours. This means that you will have plenty of time to differentiate to meet the needs of various student populations. Many resources for differentiation are in the teacher portal. All of these options are in unit resources at each grade level, and a few others are accessed from the portal landing page in these 2 sections. But you don't need to memorize these because the 3rd page in the front of every teacher edition identifies components for different users. This box lists components to use with all students, the list you just saw. And this one lists options for English learners, struggling learners, and advanced learners. As we move forward, we'll focus mostly on components listed in this bottom part. Let's start with language supports in the teacher edition, student packet, and teacher portal. Every unit's teacher edition has a developing language skills through MathLinks box with unit-specific suggestions. It's a must-read when planning for students with language needs. Think reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Here's an example of a writing opportunity. Look for journal ideas in the footers of some TE pages. All student packets have a word bank with space to record descriptions, examples, or even pictures about the vocabulary. And with teacher assistance, the precise definitions in the back of the packet will also be helpful. Prompts occur in the student packet when a word first appears as a reminder to students and teachers to discuss and complete this work. And we think a puzzle is a fun way to review vocabulary. Here's a student page that has structured workspace without clutter to get in the way of student learning. Furthermore, the directions on many pages use consistent language, which is an important assist for English learners. For students just learning English, a text file for translation can be found in unit resources. This document is easily translated into almost any language using translation software. When used alongside a student packet, students will improve their English vocabulary as they keep up with their mathematical work. Activity routines recur throughout our programs, and several can support language goals. To round out our look at language supports, let's look at 2 of them. Every unit has math talks located in unit resources on the portal. They're meant to be done as a whole class. Consider giving students some think time before contributing to class discussion. Individuals might jot down some thoughts on paper, or pairs or trios might turn and talk in a safer environment before sharing out. Another activity routine that comes up frequently is match and compare sorts. Here you see a student page with answers. First, pairs of students sort reproducible cards and match terms with their descriptions. Then they record the matches and complete a compare-contrast Venn diagram. As we transition now from language supports to support for struggling learners, we want to stop to point out a page located in every unit that gives suggestions for both English learners and those who sometimes struggle. We encourage you to look it over when unit planning. And now on to supports for struggling learners in the student packets, the teacher edition, and the teacher portal. Student packets have many built-in features to help all learners succeed, including those who may struggle. Since many students forget skills if they don't see them for a while, every lesson includes some getting started problems that review or preview important concepts in the lesson. To help students maintain fluency skills, every unit has a spiral review section. Shown here is computational fluency practice, which is in all 6th and 7th grade units. Grade level concepts and skills are revisited in spiral review as well. For example, fraction division is taught in grade 6, unit 4. Here we see fraction division problems showing up in spiral review in 3 different units later in the course. MathLinks offers several diagnostic and intervention tools as well. For example, in the TE, you'll find watch for boxes to remind teachers of things to, well, watch for. Another way to tackle knowledge gaps is with some just-in-time intervention. Say that in 6th grade, you're getting to fraction division for the first time, and notice that students are having difficulties with some of the prerequisite topics. The essential skills file on the teacher portal may have just what your students need to get up to speed. If you've finished a lesson and feel that some students need more practice, there's an extra problems file on the teacher portal with problems offered by lesson. A tool to help you determine if students are ready for a lesson or if students met grade level goals is the assessment, follow-up, and feedback charts located in unit resources. There's one for each unit. Here's a portion for a 6th grade unit. The blue columns list the lesson name, standards, and goals. The yellow columns have diagnostic ideas with intervention suggestions should they be needed at the front end of a lesson. The just-in-time intervention ideas we recently shared would be listed here. And the green columns point to assessment options and reteaching suggestions. As an example, the extra problems file for more practice would be listed here. It's a good idea to look this over when unit planning. Now suppose you have some students in need of far below grade level work. Some practice with skill boosters may be just what's needed. These are not specifically tied to any grade level or course. Choose the relevant topic and the problem sets you want to use. For more information, watch our Getting Started video dedicated to skill boosters. And finally, let's look at enrichment and challenge options in the TE, SP, and TP. First, in Teaching Tips in every Teacher's Edition, you'll find suggestions for enrichment. some related to content in the student packet, and others to content found on the teacher portal. Though Extend Your Thinking practice pages can be given to all students at times, you should know that they tend to increase the level of difficulty for grade level standards. Non-routine problems found in unit resources on the portal were specifically created for enrichment. And the Math Olympiad problems definitely offer some twists and turns. One way to use them is during time set aside for student choice. Students who crave challenges can tackle non-routine problems while others work on review or intervention topics. Like skill boosters, MathLinks puzzles and games are not tied to any specific unit or course. They provide variety and enrichment for all learners. There are several books to choose from, and they're great for motivating practice, mathematical reasoning, and other challenges. To learn more about differentiating instruction, please check out other Getting Started videos. The ones you see here are especially relevant to the information provided in this session. Thank you for taking time to learn more about our program. We hope you now have a better understanding of how to differentiate instruction using MathLinks.